So as I mentioned to you at the end of the last episode, which came to you from Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado, I'll put a link up above in case you missed it. I noticed some rather premature uneven tire wear on the two rear tires on the trailer. So I called ahead to a tire shop in Alamosa, Colorado, ordered two new Goodyear Endurance to replace the two Goodyear Endurance that were wearing on the trailer. I don't want to risk a blowout. I'd rather just pay the bucks and get those tires replaced. So we are here in Alamosa getting those tires installed before we hit the road to Taos. Alright, so I am much happier with that. Get ready to get out of Alamosa and hit the road for Taos. So I cannot believe how lucky we got. We rolled in, we checked out a bunch of campgrounds north of Taos, and we're in, I'm going to mispronounce this, the Aguaje Campground in the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument. We rolled in here, and boy, did we score. The guide for the National Monument clearly states that there are no campsites with RV hookups in the National Monument, at least in this section of the National Monument, which is the north end of the gorge, the Rio Grande Gorge. However, there is what used to be a camp host site, and it was unoccupied. This entire campground has one, count them, one other camper in it in the other end. $15 a night for full hookups in a National Monument. We're not leaving here for a while. So we're located just outside of Questa, New Mexico, about an hour's drive from the historic town of Taos. So let's saddle up and go for a ride. Taos was originally established as Don Fernando de Taos, following the Spanish conquest of the nearby Pueblo villages in 1615. The Don Fernando de Taos land grant gave land to 63 Spanish families in the Taos Valley in 1796, and the fortified plaza with adobe buildings that still stand today was constructed. Taos became part of the new U.S. territory of New Mexico following the Mexican-American War, but not before the Hispanics and Native Americans killed the new U.S. governor in the 1847 Taos Revolt. New Mexico finally achieved statehood in 1912, and today Taos is a tourist-friendly town that's home to a vibrant art colony. Everything in town, right down to its McDonald's restaurant, is built in an adobe motif. Bordering the north side of Taos, Taos Pueblo has been inhabited for nearly a millennium, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited communities in the United States. It is estimated to have been constructed between 1000 and 1450 AD. About 150 Taos-speaking Puebloan people still reside in Taos Pueblo year-round. While at Taos Pueblo, don't pass up the opportunity to sample some of the amazing native baked goods or a decadent piece of native fry bread. So there's a trail that leads right from our camp right down to the river. Figured we'd check it out this morning. The BLM has actually constructed a couple of hiker shelters down here at the river's edge. So this seems like a good spot to pause and have a little breakfast. The hike down was pretty easy and pretty short, so I think we're going to continue on. We're on the Red River right now. Follow it downstream to its confluence with the Rio Grande. Well, getting down to the confluence from here turned out to be great in theory, but lousy in practice. There's no actual defined trail. I followed what appeared to be a pretty decent herd path that was leading in the right direction. But the further downstream I got, the more that herd path disappeared. I eventually got cliffed out, and I'm giving up on that idea. Gonna head back up to the rim. Still got a ways to go. So I may not have made it to the confluence, but that was nevertheless an absolutely wonderful hike. The BLM has done a wonderful job of laying in perfect switchbacks with really good erosion control. I do recommend doing it on a cool morning because it does hug the south-facing side of the canyon and there's zero shade available. But remarkably, even though it leaves right here from our campground, I didn't encounter one other soul the entire time I was down there. I may not have made it to the confluence, but that was still a wonderful morning. There's also a loop trail through the National Monument for hiking or biking that connects all of the campgrounds and a visitor center, staffed by friendly volunteers who are a wealth of knowledge about not only the monument, but also the surrounding area. Recreation can be found not only along the Rio Grande, but also in the nearby Taos Mountains. If you want greener scenery and cooler temperatures, just go up a few thousand feet. And in true Taos style, if you've left your RV at home, you can still go RVing at Hotel Luna Mystica, where they've renovated a number of vintage travel trailers to serve as hotel rooms. So the Taos area and Rio Grande del Norte National Monument has been a ball to visit from a cultural, a geological, and a recreational perspective. It's going to be real hard to leave this campsite too. I got to tell you, a guy could get used to this full hookup thing. It is awfully convenient, but I'm not about to give up my space in order to have those hookups. So when a rare opportunity like this shows up, I'm going to jump on it. But we may stay here and film our next episode from here, or we may hit the road. I haven't decided yet. I do have some ideas in mind, so to make sure that you catch our next episode, if you're not yet one of our grand adventurers, there's a subscribe button down in that corner of the screen right now. Make sure that you hit it. And to make sure that you catch every episode, be sure to ring that notification bell. If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up down below. We'd love to get your comments and feedback in the comment section below this video. And until next time, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you soon.